Trae Young, he sets the tone for all his teammates.
Look, how do you defend him? You don't defend him like that.
His feel for the game is ridiculous. I like to talk about when a guy comes off a ball screen, he sees all 5 defenders. He does. So he sees how the defense rotates, and he makes the right play.
Trae Young is willing to listen, and he's willing to be coached.
He's a guy who can shoot from long range, obviously.
He's unbelievable.
Trae Young is far and away the draft's most lethal shot maker with beyond NBA range and unbelievable touch. He makes defenders pay for going under ball screens 30 feet from the rim and has unwavering confidence to go along with an advanced shot creation package, step backs, stomp dribbles, pullbacks, and can beat switches with hang dribble pull-ups. Just a variety of ways to get to that jump shot for Trae Young. Really tight handle, impeccable footwork, and just a rare ability to remain on balance after shedding his defender and getting to that lightning quick release. Really smooth exchange from dribble move to release point, making Trae Young an extremely difficult cover. Because he's a threat to pull up from anywhere on the floor, Young is able to get to his spots by playing off his live dribble and changing speeds into finesse finishes. He has 1-foot floaters, 2-foot runners, and does a great job of changing pace to keep defenders guessing. Now, he's a below-the-rim guy in the half court, but Young overall is one of the most skilled players and finishers in the draft. He's a student of the game who can finish with either hand, off either foot, and does a tremendous job of using deception to neutralize shot blockers. He's known for his Steph Curry-esque deep pull-ups, but Young is also one of the best passers in this draft. He's unselfish in the open floor with quick hit-aheads, locating shooters or rim runners, and delivering the ball on the money from a variety of angles. When surrounded by shooting and athletes at the NBA level, Young's game should pop even more in transition. In the half court, he's outstanding in pick and roll. He plays with great pace and hits the roll man on the money with regularity. One of the best live dribble passers in this draft with either hand, moves defenders with his eyes and does a great job of changing speeds. And Young is also an instinctual ball handler against aggressive ball screen coverages, splits comfortably and kicks out to shooters, plays with his head up and does a great job of seeing the floor on the move. Also improving his ability to use both sides of the floor in pick and roll. Doesn't have elite size, but impressive timing, vision, and accuracy. Gonna thrive with shooters around him in the NBA. Then outstanding at probing in the paint, skating along the baseline. Young idolizes Steve Nash, and you can see that influence, that film work coming to life for the Oklahoma point guard who led the nation in assists as a freshman. By far, Trae Young's biggest question mark is his defense. Didn't show much fight or tenacity during his freshman season. Too often upright in his stance, relaxed demeanor, making little effort to contain penetration. But it's not just the lack of effort that's concerning, it's more Trae Young's tools. He doesn't have elite size or length for his position. Here you can see a smaller guard like Manu Lecomte taking him right to the rim. So there are questions about how he's going to hold up against starting caliber point guards in the NBA. And then his ball screen defense has a long ways to go. Doesn't show much effort getting through screens. Technique can really improve. Just not the most physical defender. And teams are going to go right at him, put him in ball screens, try to get downhill and go through him to the rim. So Trae Young will really need to improve defensively so he's not a liability on that end of the floor. Young has some trouble playing in traffic both as a scorer and a facilitator. Here kills his dribble and unable to make the cross-court feed given his size. then far too loose with the ball in traffic, exposes the ball, commits careless turnovers, actually led the nation in turnovers as a freshman, needs to clean some things up when running the show. Again, he didn't have much help from his teammates, but because of that slight frame, Young was regularly knocked off balance on his way to the rim, and he benefited a lot early in the season from foul calls, but when those whistles dried up, so did his efficiency. So it remains to be seen how he'll score efficiently in the NBA, given his style of play, given his reliance on getting to the free throw line. He's not a physical or explosive finisher, and some of his big numbers were a product of having such a long leash, so much freedom at Oklahoma. Young didn't have much help at Oklahoma, and they needed him to get going from the perimeter, but he's always been a bit trigger happy, willing to jack up 35-footers, contested threes early in the clock, rather than getting his team into the flow of the offense. Still working to find that balance between scoring and playmaking. Now that should come with added experience, better teammates, but there were a lot of situations where he could slow down and make that extra pass out of pick and roll. Also settled far too often from the perimeter rather than trying to break down the defense and make something happen.
Jim Hlavik, Draft Express. I'm at the 2017 McDonald's All-American game with Trae Young. He's headed to Oklahoma.
Listen, Trae Young can play. Anytime you're averaging 29 and 9 on a collegiate level, you're big time. There's no doubt about that.
Trae Young, the freshman All-American at the University of Oklahoma, tells me he will enter the June NBA draft.
I just feel like I'm mentally ready and to make that next jump and pursue my dream and playing in the NBA.
The most polarizing and productive player in college basketball, Young's off-the-dribble shot-making, stellar court vision, and outstanding overall skill level are a perfect fit in the modern NBA. But who will Young defend at the next level? How will he hold up physically over the course of an 82-game season? Can he play efficient basketball without the same level of volume he had at Oklahoma? With that said, there are a few players more skilled and entertaining than Trae Young in this 2018 draft class.
I feel like the first time I step out on that NBA court, I may have tears. I mean, to be honest with you, just because I remember being that little kid who wanted to be there so early to watch people play and watch the routine, and now knowing that kids are going to be doing that for me, and I'm a role model to them, is just something that I never take for granted, and I try to be the best person, best role model I can be for kids growing up and kids that want to be like me someday, and hopefully I'm doing that very well.